Shut up and sit down.
It's where the big boys play. Sicw.
Welcome to Sicw Podcast, everybody. Episode 124. How's it going, guys?
Hola.
Not bad, not
Hola,
bad.
¿cómo está? Muy bien.
It was,
I don't speak any more than that. Just hola. Oh, I do know nachos and burritos. Quesadilla, chimichanga.
What about Taco Bell Grande empanada? You know,
That's Americanized. That doesn't count.
empanadas are un-Americanized. You find those in Mexico everywhere.
A Jack in the Box version is going to be Americanized.
Yeah. But a Del Taco.
Ooh, I
Still
miss Del
Americanized,
Taco.
but love.
I miss Del Taco. We had one of them here in Belleville when I was growing up. Used to get that macho burrito whenever the Blues would play. They were on sale.
Uy, macho. I wonder if, because I know it's a franchise model, so I wonder if anybody owns the rights for this area. Anyway, we're way off topic.
Just
We're thinking about
Okay.
food. I guess we're all hungry.
No, just you two.
I'd always
So,
go for some Del Taco.
we had we had a good weekend of wrestling. My weekend actually started Friday night. Well, actually Friday during the day. So I went and did a surprise visit to Sandoble's grade school, and was able to speak to all the students. I think it was sixth grade down to second grade about anti-bullying, and
And
I
said,
did.
come watch me bully someone around.
I think it went well. Some of the kids had questions, and I stayed and answered the questions. And one of the teachers actually came up to me and said, "Man, that was great." And then I took pictures with all the classes. So the students wanted to take individual pictures, but that would have just took forever. But we ended up go ahead and just doing classes with me, which still took a little bit, but it was a lot easier than individual. But
Okay, so my real question is, can we still chop people if they annoy us?
Not in the classroom.
yeah, I would say wait until you get out of high school.
Well, I heard you bullied your student this last weekend, so.
That is true, and we'll get to that. But Friday night, I took a long drive and worked for RCW, which is Redneck Championship Wrestling, and it was a special match. It was me and Attila in a street fight match, and that came up because Luke from the Bushwhackers was supposed to do meet and greet with Bob Orton and Herb Simmons at RCW. And of course, Luke, like I stated, he was recently just in the hospital, and I found out more to it. He was having some medical issues, and the doctor told him that he should not fly. So I'm assuming it could have been, blood clot related, because that's normally why they don't want people to fly. Redneck, he called up Herb and asked for a match to kind of take that spot. So he got Attila to sign, and I signed off on it. So we went and had a killer street match. Very rare. I think me and Bobby D is the only one that pretty much had a street fight or anything goes fight at SICW. So it was going back to my roots where we used tables and chairs and pretty much anything, because this was an outside show. It was a festival outside, so they had a whole bunch of stuff that kids can do. But literally, this town was so small that everyone in the town was there. Because it was the only thing to do that night was to go there to this carnival, and so it was actually extremely packed.
Proper redneck.
What'd you say?
So it's a proper redneck town with a proper redneck show.
Yeah, and it was kind of cool too. I can't remember the name of the town, but evidently they started popcorn because literally when our locker room, at least for the good guys, the locker room had a bunch of old posters of back in the 50s of how they were making popcorn. Like this whole town was like, and it was a popcorn celebration, so they were handing out free popcorn all night.
Well, was
But
it named Deliverance? And if it was, did you make Attila squeal like a pig?
Not on
no.
camera.
Took that a little to the wild side. But no, it was a great match though. Like I said, there was a table under the ring that I was able to grab and use and throw Attila in it. Of course, Attila, was able to use his fork a few and got me pretty scarred up at there at the top. But I had a little help. He was calling out Bob during the match, kind of making fun of Bob, and Bob came in and with one quick right hand knocked Attila, and it was enough to keep him down that I covered him for the 1-2-3, and ended up getting a victory over Attila Khan. So it wasn't bad. It was about 3.5 hours away. That's the only thing that sucked. It was a long drive, and a long drive back home too. But next day was Sandoval, and man, it was a blast. I don't know about you, Bobby, but it was definitely a blast there. The fans were going crazy. It was like
Oh,
they
that's
were
a
just
good crowd.
starving for wrestling because they were screaming at the top of their lungs from the minute the show started until the end. Of course, it was an SICW show, so we had the who's who of the wrestlers out there. Golden Boy Greg Anthony was there. He was, he came from Sandoval, so it's like coming back home type thing for him.
That was a different show.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that was the redneck one. I forgot to put it up.
No, it's not the redneck one either.
You want the redneck one?
No, we'll talk
That's
about
a
that
whole
here in a
new
second.
thing.
But so
You
let's
got a
see.
label though.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah, so I went against Brandon Beretta. So it was like the student versus the teacher. And, he called me out in the beginning, said, I helped him out, but all I taught him was the basics and that he needed to go out and learn and was able to be taught how to be a wrestler by other people. So it's kind of a little rub my nose in it saying I just taught him the basics. So we whooped each other's ass all around that fucking building. Took him outside of the ring, chopped the piss out of him. He did draw first blood, as you can say, because he got me with a high knee and really fucked up the inside of my mouth and my, I guess I bit down on my lips or something.
I felt those
But,
from him.
but it was definitely a great match. And unfortunately, I did actually lose that match because I thought I had him for a second splash in the corner, but he moved out of the way. I ate the turnbuckle, and he just rolled me up for a pin real quick. Literally, I wish I had the video of it because he literally like wrapped me up where he was actually like my legs were fucking high in the air, and I couldn't believe I could even bend that fucking way for him to actually get on top to get the pin. But sure enough,
It's kind of like that one. The very sad version of wrestling that I did, the anaconda that I was taught, legs up in the air, and you just squeeze and cut the air off, and they give up or pass out.
He is a
But,
crafty little guy. If you saw like 2 weeks ago on our TV, went to a time limit draw with him, and yeah, he's tough, he's crafty, and sneaky little shit now. Attacking me after the bell, giving me a finisher on the title, but we'll get payback for that later.
yeah, but Bobby went against I can't even remember the guy's name. He was like a
The
masked
medic.
man, the medic. So how'd that go for you, Bobby?
Well, by the time I was done with him, he needed a medic. He was, a
He's
little
his
bit
own
taller
best
than me.
friend.
I'm not the tallest guy around, so that's not that hard to do. But he got some good shots in here and there. But end of the day, I threw him around and then worked on that leg and got him to submit with the Scorpion Deathlock.
Oh, there you go. Finished it up. We had a battle royal at the end. It was a pretty good battle royal. I was looking for Brandon Beretta, but he was actually under the ring for most of it. He did a
One of the
little
couple of the fans
run
told me that.
away, but eventually I did get eliminated by Attila. Actually, I think Attila and Peyton both jumped out on me to get rid of me. But it did come down to Attila and Bobby and Brandon and I think someone else. Was there one more person?
Peyton Harris was in there for a minute.
See. Oh, yeah, because I was the 5th from last to being eliminated and got down to you guys. So how'd that turn out?
Well, basically, Devastation Incorporated, I have figured out, is just overly aggressively angry. So I was actually able to low bridge both of them as they charged in, like one at a time. They both just were chomping at the bit, and I took advantage of that. Dropped down, pulled the rope, and they went over one at a time. And then it came down to me and Brandon. Definitely got physical again, just like that match from TV the other day. A lot of hard hitting, a lot of chopping and whatnot, and got outside the ring. He clotheslined me back inside the ring, and then I hit him, threw him, thought he went to the ground, didn't. And then he tried to grab me from behind, and then I double reverse it and threw him over for the win.
Sweet. And I guess that's why on October 4th, looks like he's got a title shot.
He does. So, like I said before, the one-on-one match ended in a time limit draw. I got the better of the battle royal, but a one-on-one match and a battle royal are two different things. So I know I still got my work cut out for me.
Definitely. And he, I believe he just, well, I think he still is the tag champion from OVW. I know he's got a title match. I think they're defending the titles this Thursday night. So if you guys check out OVW, I think he'll be defending his tag team championship. Yeah, I mean, he's still on the move. You still got to give him credit. He's still touring and going around. So just about every place that he can get on a card, he's getting on. And, I've heard that he's challenged in most places for that heavyweight title. So now he's got another shot, this time for the SICW Classic title.
Yeah, well, it looks like those basic moves you taught him are working out, but I don't remember you ever teaching him to hide under a ring. EC3 had to do that.
Oh, yeah, because I can't fit under a ring, so that would have to be something that EC3 had to teach him.
I'm going to take a little credit here, too. I didn't teach him much, but if you watch his matches, a lot of his moves are very similar to mine.
Flip up to that next one, that cage match, because that too is going to be the next show. Of course, we're back in Belleville, so we're coming back home October the 4th, Belclair Fairgrounds. Doors open at 6, show starts at 7, and this match right here is going to be inside a steel cage. So Miss Hyde versus Lilith Khan. They just got done having a strap match a month or two ago. Where they just beat the crap out of each other. So this time they're going to do it in a steel cage to kind of settle the score.
Is this the first time a female match has been in a cage match for SICW?
I would say yes, because I've been with the company.
I haven't heard one.
Yeah, I've been with the company at least 20 years or around 20 years, and I've never seen a women's steel cage match. So, this might be one of the firsts, but we're also going to welcome a Hall of Famer. This gentleman was just celebrated 2 years ago by the WWE, celebrated last year, I believe, for the Waterloo, Iowa Hall of Fame. But Thunderbolt Patterson is coming to Belleville as well. He was one of the, I wouldn't say one of the first African American wrestlers, but he was one of the first famous ones. He was able to go everywhere. A lot of people say that even Dusty Rhodes took a few of his moves because he was known to, do a little dance in the middle of the ring and then strike the opponent. And that's what Dusty kind of took on, where he would do that ibonic, or how do you say it? Bionic elbow. He would do a little jive and then hit him. And so a lot of people say that a lot of people have, borrowed or taken from him, which is very cool because it's a way to show the respect for the legends. It's very hard to come up with your own new move. So if you idolize someone, sometimes you can take one of those moves from your idols and take it for your own.
So
Say
we know who
mimicry is the
Bobby
most
Fish
sincere
went on
form of
before.
flattery.
Yeah, it's a form of flattery. But we know who you're wrestling on the 4th, Bobby. Jim, who are you wrestling on the 4th? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Thunderbolt Patterson.
Thunderbolt Patterson.
That would be good. You guys can do a jig in the ring.
They both wear cowboy hats too.
Right. Cowboy hats,
that was
cowboy boots. Perfect.
Full
All right.
disclosure. Say full disclosure, Jim is not wrestling Thunderbolt Patterson, people.
I don't think Thunderbolt has wrestled in the last 10, 20 years or so. He does get around, but most of the time he's in a wheelchair. So that would be almost me taking advantage of an elderly, and I don't want to do that. But yes, so the Shriners Collector Fest is just right around the corner, November 15th. Everyone here on the podcast is going to be there. We're going to do a live podcast. We're going to talk to the guests. We're going to talk to some of the vendors. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be something for everyone. So, if you collect action figures or if you collect Pokemon cards, you have a chance to meet one of the voice actors of one of the characters in Pokemon. And then plus, if you collect comic books, there's one person from Dracula and one person from the Amazing Spider-Man, I believe. So that's going to be super cool if you collect comic books. I'll, of course, be doing some shopping because why not? If the action figures are there, I'm going to shop around. Also, some old wrestlers are going to be there. My old tag team partner in the very first business, in the first couple matches, what's his name? Antonio. I call him Anthony, but he will be there. So that's kind of cool. He does 3D models now. So he'll be there selling his 3D models. He was never in the wrestling business as a wrestler, but there's another guy that's going to be there. He's I guess he was a manager maybe at the time, but his name is Chuck. He's going to be there. He was there selling his. He sells some. I bought some. It's some sort of hand scrub for mechanics. Really, you can use it for anything. But this, like your tattoos, mine are pretty old and faded. And if you use this scrub stuff, it gets really down and actually shines your tattoos up. And that's what sold it for me last time. Because the last year I went to this, not being a special guest or anything, no one knowing who I was. I just walked in and did some shopping and ran into him, and he sold it on me. I think it's man scrub or man scrub. I went bottles right there, but I don't want to get up and get it. But very cool stuff. And definitely a cool time if you're a collector of anything, because they have wrestling, they have Star Wars, that's where I bought my first street farts.
You bought some street farts, huh?
I'm pretty sure you street farted a long time ago.
Man, if I could talk. But yeah, Street Sharks, which is a very cool toy line that I'm just now getting involved in.
You messed up my mind because I just heard Street Shark now.
Well, I also said Street Sharks fuck, so you know. Well, yeah, but anyway, it's gonna be a good time. You can always stop by and see Bobby D, see Nasty Nate, see myself, and you know, if you got a cool story, we might get you on the podcast so you can tell it, or just say hi to us and come across our booth. Of course, like I said, we'll be doing a live podcast that night or that day because it's 10 to 4. Of course, there's an early
There's
bird.
an there's an early entry at 9, but it goes from 10 to 4.
Yeah, so it's going to be a good day.
And
But
hopefully no Texan Street Sharks.
sharks
No.
or fucks, one of the two.
You know,
All
it'd be bigger than anybody else's because it's from Texas.
So let's talk about that picture that you showed earlier. Oh, we can talk about that one too. That's fine. So WWE announced. Now, I'm just full disclosure. I thought Raw this week sucked. I think it was just a recap of last week's Raw. And last week's Raw was just a fast forward Raw for me. So I wasn't thrilled when everything was pretty
And
much the
that's
same.
supposed to be the go home show for WrestlePalooza.
Yeah.
And it was that bad.
Yeah. John Cena was on it. Of course, Brock Lesnar wasn't on it, but Brock was on Friday Night SmackDown, where John Cena wasn't. So, your main event right there, one of your main events, you're just doing this, Brock is supposed to be chasing John Cena, but he wasn't there on Friday Night SmackDown, so you would think John would be on Raw, and he was, but Brock was not there. So your two main
Did you
headliners.
watch that terrible promo between R-Truth and Lesnar on SmackDown?
I
It
did
was
read
so
that.
bad.
Yeah. R-Truth was pretending to be John Cena's brother from another father, not even from another mother,
And he's Ron Cena again, even though he's serious now.
yeah. But he's not serious now because now that John Cena came out and said he's not a heel and not a bad guy, now Ron the Truth Killings is not a bad guy. Now he's back to being R-Truth type of character, but going by his real name. Then kind of
But
going
then
by Cena.
Lesnar would ask the same question over and over, like verbatim. It's like, what are we doing here, guys?
Did they get 4-year-olds to write this damn storyline and script for Raw? It's getting
I don't
worse.
know what they did.
I mean, the CEO of TKO basically told all the fans that they think you're idiots and they're going to continue to keep charging what they want because you're dumb enough to pay.
And this just shows how money hungry they are. WWE is getting $100 million for Royal Rumble in 2026 and $250 million for WrestleMania 43. Yes, WrestleMania for the very first time is not going to be held in the United States. So they're getting a lot of backlash, but they don't seem to care. As long as the money is there, they are going. And it.
I mean, the Saudi princes, they can put the $100 million to get it because they control the company that's bringing them out. Whereas Silver Lake, the majority stakeholder for TKO, is owned by Dubai's royal family. They use the Commonwealth Fund there. And
all those people, you have no idea what they're worth because they don't broadcast it. So you know how like the top 10 richest people in the world just came out, and Elon Musk, I think, was number 1 this year. But he's truly not, because almost everyone in that country is a millionaire or a billionaire or a trillionaire, because they don't broadcast.
Yeah, the thing about Forbes' rich list is you have to submit it on your own. they don't really verify what you say, or else some of them wouldn't be on there because it's all asset wealth for some of them and not real any liquidity wealth. But there's, well, I'm not going to say anything on what we're being recorded, but I just know that the top 10 really isn't the top 10. But there's 15,000, there's at least 15,000 Saudi princes, so, and all of them are very wealthy. So
Yeah.
that should go to tell you something.
But this is going to bring like a damper on WWE because the women wrestlers, every time they go there, they have to cover up everything. You know, they can only show their hands and their face. And all the women always complain about that every time they go there. Now you're bringing the biggest show that they put on, and now you know, they got to be covered up. There's certain things that can't happen on those shows that normally can happen on others. So everyone's thinking, man, this is really just a cash grab for WWE. Of course,
and then you
they
got
kind of need the money.
then you got all your time zone different stuff too. Like I almost never catch a Crown Jewel or these other pay-per-views when they're like the one that just happened, because they're like 1 o'clock on a Saturday, and usually there's stuff going on at 1 o'clock on a Saturday.
Right. And you know, we talked about it before that people are willing to pay the high dollar tickets because it's something about going to a live show that they want to be the ones to say they were there. They want to be the ones that you know, see it live versus seeing it on TV. And I'm like,
Let's go be bored with a bunch of other people instead of being bored at home where you could actually drink and not be annoyed by people around you. Sounds fun.
And now you got to go to Saudi Arabia to be bored.
Well, I'm telling you right now that I will probably go back into my slumber of not caring about WWE. You know, I hadn't watched a product in so long until the whole Cody Rhodes jumping from AEW, going back to WWE, and then getting involved in you know, the family of the Usos and Roman Reigns, the Bloodline. That's what I was trying to think of. Mixing in with the Bloodline, you know, that storyline grabbed my attention because why would a head guy from one company where he actually helped create the company jump to go back to a company that he left because he felt like you know, he was just a sheep dog to them. So that kind of got my attention, pulled me in, kept me interested for at least a year because it took that long for them to finish the story. And you know, ever since he finished the story, it's been pretty much the same shit. I mean, they did add CM Punk back into the lineup, which you know, drew a little attention because, you know, Seth Rollins really hates CM Punk in real life, and you know, that I think it was at War Games that Punk came back, and you know, so that grabbed my attention, so I was invested. But now it's like I was telling everyone before we hit record. This week it was the same as last week. I mean, it was the same shit. And now that the next pay-per-view is going to be on ESPN, and I'm not really wanting to spend more money on ESPN to see the pay-per-views, I think I might be actually done with WWE. I just hope, and some people's been talking about this, that AEW steps up their damn game, gets more, you know, storyline driven to get people to stay focused on their product because they can just capitalize right now. I mean, when they come to town, their tickets are still family oriented, meaning cheaper, and you can still have a great time watching wrestling. So they just need to capitalize on the situation where WWE is outpricing the families, and you got to be now rich.
I got a better idea. Support your local wrestling instead.
Well,
up close and personal, even cheaper than AEW.
And that's a great idea too. But I want to show support for AEW because and I know when there's two main companies, it's better for wrestlers, because the likes of a Brandon Beretta making it to a big company is a lot better when there's two big companies versus just one. WWE still wants to try to take AEW out of the picture, and just I think it was last month, maybe it was 2 months ago, that AEW outlasted WCW. It was the talk that the whole 72 weeks or 93 weeks that that Eric Bischoff was running Monday Night Nitro in competition with WWE. AEW just now outlasted Monday Night Nitro. So, definitely support your local wrestling, because those wrestlers one day could be the ones that are working AEW or TNA or, GCW or even WWE. So I got to give props to them, and hopefully they take advantage of this, especially with, whenever there's a main pay-per-view. And we talked about this about Vegas when WWE did WrestleMania in Vegas. It's like a whole month that all the local wrestling companies or the bigger wrestling companies like a GCW, they will show up to that town, and it'll be like a wrestling, city, pretty much, because like Matt Cardona spoke about WrestleMania and how he was booked every night of that week leading up to WrestleMania, and some days he was wrestling twice a day, once during the day and once at night, because that's how big and so many people go to that town that it's like a wrestling town for like 2 weeks, the week prior to WrestleMania and the week after WrestleMania. And of course, that's why WWE is now going back to Las Vegas next year for their WrestleMania. But with WrestleMania being out of the country in 2 years, now they're not going to be, all these wrestling companies are not going to be going towards wherever WWE is, because they're not all going to go to Saudi Arabia. Probably none of them will. So now they need to attach their wagon to whatever company is thriving, and AEW is the next, bigger company. So hopefully they do one of their grand pay-per-views even that weekend of WrestleMania. And that way it'll still drive all the wrestling fans, all the wrestling companies to hit that town that AEW is on, and they can really take advantage of this. Either way, WWE is outpricing the families and outpricing everyone, basically, unless you're sitting on a fat stack and just willing to throw it away for a 2-hour show. That you get 5
Think about
matches.
throwing stuff away. Let's talk about this picture right here.
All right. So this is the buzz from Saturday night. This was actually at an IEW show in Granite City. And you can see Z-Miz in the back wondering what the hell is going on. Because IEW is clearly within the 50 miles radius of SICW. And for Sean Vincent to come out of an IEW locker room wearing an SICW shirt, the speculations is running wild. Is SICW working with IEW, or is SICW coming in to take over and challenge? Well, I guess you would say yes, because Sean Vincent challenged their heavyweight champion. And their next show is the same day that we're at the Comic-Con. So November 15th is their next show. And, what's going to come of this? But, so yeah, Sean Vincent, who, recently has turned, I would say, seen the light and turned away from the negative or the heelish tactics
I don't believe it.
You know, he used to be called the SICW ambassador, but he shows up at I wouldn't say competition because we don't normally go to Granite City, but yeah, basically he showed up at a competition, their event, IEW, and you know, he challenged the heavyweight champion and then walked back into the dressing room. That was it. But so the speculation, because I don't know, uh, is SICW going to try to take over IEW? Now, IEW, the owner and Z-Miz, you know, they come to our fan fests. Z-Miz has done commentary for us on our TV show. So is this going to be a working agreement, or is this us, you know, showing dominance and going to take over their show? You know, everything's up in the air. It's just full of speculation.
Well, I'm not going to reach out to the SOB, but maybe you can reach out and see if he wants to call in the day of that show while we're at the Comic-Con. Get a couple answers on his
I think
preparation.
we should probably get Sean Vincent on the podcast and see what he has to say for himself. Is he in cahoots with someone? Is he going rogue and going by himself? These are questions that we need answers to. I'm just trying to be a reporter. But
It
yeah,
really
so,
worked out. We're speechless.
But yeah, so we definitely need to get him on and get some answers to this, to these burning questions, and see what's going on. See if he can show some details about what might be happening. But definitely it was the talk of the town. Now Saturday, every single promotion seemed like they were running Saturday. You know, so MMWA had a show Saturday, IEW, SICW, RCW. Um, let's see here. There's another faction out there that I won't name names had their show on Saturday. But yeah, so it was definitely a weekend of independent wrestling in the St. Louis area, and you know, hopefully they all benefited from it. We definitely did. I mean, I left. My fans bought almost everything I brought with me, so it was a great payday for me, and so I appreciate the fans. And I'll probably continue to bring my stuff. And I strongly recommend Bobby to bring all of his extra stuff that he gets from these boxes, these crates, and sell that stuff.
Well, yeah, I was going to
Appreciate
say,
it.
speaking of burning questions, what's with the sexy Hulk painting or
Ah.
poster, whatever that is?
It's just something I found and thought I'd pick up. I thought it looked kind of neat. Not really a Hulk Hogan fan, but you know, figure it's a wrestling podcast. Why not?
Right. The only thing is that it blocks that beautiful belt.
Yeah,
And
I'll
I
have to figure out how
noticed
to rearrange it.
your classic championship is not hanging on the wall. Are you still the classic champion?
I am.
Oh, okay. So you're just not proud of being the classic champion, not hanging up the belt.
It's to rearrange some things now.
Yeah, I get it too. I got to rearrange this top shelf over here because I want to definitely display the big boys, you know, and get them up there. But did you get a crate yet, or did
Not
you pick
yet.
up anything? Not yet.
Nope.
So, on your last week's podcast, when you were talking about picking up that Luke, I went ahead and picked up that Luke too. Of course, since I found out Friday that he wasn't going to be there, you know, he just stayed at home. But I thought it was a cool idea too to get that autographed. But I too missed out, so didn't get that one done.
But we do have some Doink Lukes now.
Yeah, we do. And he does. He is welcome back. And I think as soon as he gets healthy, RCW will have him back in town. whether we have him back in town on our show too, I guess he'll just have to line up because it's kind of perfect. RCW ran Friday, we ran Saturday, so Bob and Luke were supposed to do Friday's show, and then Luke was going to come and do ours. So hopefully it lines up like that again, where both shows could benefit from Luke coming there, because hands down, the Bushwhackers was a great group in the 80s. And it's so amazing too, because if you ever do any research on the Bushwhackers, when they were the sheep herders, they were the meanest, toughest, tag team around. Mainly wrestled down in Australia and Puerto Rico. And, if you know anything about Puerto Rico, you got to be some tough bastards to wrestle down there. And they were. Beating up people, biting them, and they weren't doing the Bushwhackers little biting. They were fierce. But anyhow, I'm just running my mouth. So yes, picked up him. I picked up 2 more superstars. They were a joint pack. So I'm only down to 1 superstar that I need, but I did pick up the 2-pack of the Rhodes family. So here's Cody Rhodes. In order to get the Dusty, you got to buy Cody. So kind of cool though. Cody comes with all his tattoos. Got the Finish the Story belt. He did come with a T-shirt, but I took that off because Cody wrestles like this, and his father. So Dusty comes in his classic red boots, is what he's known for, and that green elbow pad. What I think is cool is they're starting to try to go real life, and he's got his birthmark. Oh, I just went out. There we go. Now we're back. He's got his birthmark on his belly, but he also came with a Dusty Rhodes T-shirt, but in the glass case, he's going to be posed like this. Also comes with an NWA belt, so that's kind of awkward because it is a WWE wrestler toy line, and they don't own the rights to NWA. Billy Corgan does, but somehow he's got an NWA belt. So we'll have to.
I'm sure there was some grease involved.
Yeah, I'm sure there was some money involved in that. But yeah, so now I'm just down to 1 particular wrestler, and that's the Chase Razor Ramon. He's a very cool looking figure. I got the regular version in the case already, but and eventually they're going to come out with Series 15, which is like Demolition and Stone Cold and a different version of the Ultimate Warrior. So my hunt for these will never end, which is great because I always have something to talk about. But as of right now, until Series 15 comes out, I only need 1. I did pick up some other things. I picked up, I went back to my favorite toy store, downtown Belleville. Oh, I had that. And I picked up just a basic Undertaker. He's got a lot of toys. He's got LJNs. He's got some Hasbros. But I just picked this guy up. I liked him. He comes with the urn. So while we're here, we'll just might as well open him up. I picked up that Ultimate Undertaker, and we showed him off where he's got the Phantom of the Menace, basically, mask, and he was all in purple. This one, of course, is all in gray. This is like more of the original Undertaker, because he doesn't have all the tattoos that he has now. All of his both arms is covered in tattoos nowadays. But when he originally came out, originally he didn't have any tattoos showing. And then he started to work on the forearms. And then eventually the whole sleeve, and then he had the face tattoos and the neck tattoos. Love the fact that it comes with a little urn. Doesn't come with any extra hands or anything. This is just a basic, what they call a main event series now. It's just a simple action figure. I thought he was cool enough to pick up, though. It was only $14 too, so he was pretty cheap. But now I'll have the gray version and the purple version in the case. And then my last pickup, I still have the hat to the action figure. This was from my childhood. Of course, this shows off that it's an LJN. But I picked up this guy right here, Slick. Of course, he was a manager back in the 80s. And if you remember, he was the manager to the African Dream. It was a big white guy. He used to be the one-man gang, but he switched and became the African Dream. So picture a big, heavy-set, 300-pound white guy dressing up in African, gimmick gear and dancing.
Didn't he change his name to Akeem?
Yeah, that's what he was, Akeem. But Slick was his manager. So my original hat is going on him. But it's always cool when I can add to the LJN line. Of course, that is where my heart is in the LJNs and in the Hasbros. But picked him up for $20. The guy was selling them pretty cheap. And most of the time when it comes to Slick, he does have a little bit of facial damage. This whole body, this is part of the last run. And the last runs were horrible figures because his whole body, his suit is gray, so his whole body is actually gray. And then they just painted the black skin and the black hair and the vest and everything on him. So when his paint peels, it turns gray because his whole body is gray. But very cool. Glad to have. I was so shocked that I have still little bits and pieces of my childhood LJN collection, and I still had the hat. I just needed the body, so got him. So very perfect. Was able to add to the superstars, able to add to the LJNs, and to just the basic line of wrestlers. So not too bad, not bad at all. God knows I made a killing this weekend. Like I said, I was able to sell a lot of my duplicates and stuff that I just pick up that I don't want, but I think I can flip. And that just helps me buy the other stuff. So now I've got $235 that I can put towards, some new toys. But that's all the toys I got for you today. So, as we always say, if you like this, if you like the podcast, if you like us telling our stories, talking about what we find in the wild when it comes to wrestling merchandise, or if you have any questions about SICW or RCW or MMWA, we don't work for MMWA no more, but we did work there for a long period of time, and I'll be willing to answer whatever I know. So if you like this stuff, please like, subscribe. Go ahead.
So I'm going to actually have at our merch table, maybe just your merch table, at our October show, a box. And if you want maybe a notepad of paper, and if you want to write down a question, we'll throw it in there and we'll have it here for the podcast.
Perfect idea.
I've already got the box.
Oh, sweet. All right. So anything else from you guys?
Nope.
All right. One more podcast in the books. Please like, subscribe. Like I said, this is a small channel, and it really helps the algorithm when you interact with us. So please do subscribe, do a comment, do a thumbs up, tell us to go F off. I don't care. Just interact with us. All right, I kind of do care. I want a thumbs up, and I want to say that you love Nasty Nate.
Nope. I'm already doing the other one.
Okay. All right. Well, until next time, we'll see you at the wrestling shows. Gentlemen, you have a good night. See ya.
Thank you, you too. See ya.
Yeah.